Okay, so as we have been doing programming on using structures, now we will do addition of complex numbers. Now you are quite acquainted that if I write 5 plus 6i, it is a 5 plus 6i, then it is a complex number, is not it so? Similarly, if I write 7 plus 9i, then it is a complex number. If I add this 2, then you know that this real part out of this complex number is 5 and the real part out of this complex number is 7, and the complex number consists of this real part and the imaginary part, and this is the real part, this is the imaginary part. If I add this 2, the real part will be added with the real part, imaginary part will be added with the imaginary part. So definitely the result of the addition should be 12 plus 15i. Please see this. 5 plus 7 makes it 12. The real parts added together 5 and 7 12, and the imaginary part 6 and 9 added together makes it 15. So for writing this program, why structure will help us? If we can have a structure called not over here, let me write it below this hash include so that it forms very much a part of your program. I don't need to copy paste later. Anyway, so struct complex. If I have a structure like this, struct complex, then within that complex structure, you know that there has to be a real part and there has to be an imaginary part. Is not it so? I can have a structure called struct complex, and within that is the real part and the imaginary part. And then what I can do is, if you remember type def was there, I can define the type of this struct complex as only complex, so that what happens as a result, this I can now write complex followed by the variable. I don't need to write the struct complex every time. I have defined the type of complex struct complex as this capital complex. So this is a complex number. So in the complex number there is a real part and the imaginary part. So to scan a complex number, I will have to, what do I need to do? I need to scan the real part and the imaginary part of it. So can I have 3 variables of this complex structure, of this complex structure type, maybe C1, C2 and C3, 3 variables, and the complex number C1 will be added with the complex number C2 to get the complex number C3. So definitely I need to tell the user something like this, something like this, that enter the first complex number. Maybe I have to write something like this: enter the first complex number. And in this first complex number, what you need to do, what you need to have is the real part and the imaginary part. So again I can say printf followed by real part, the real part. I tell the user and expect the user to enter over here, the real part to be entered over here, and the real part is definitely an integer. So I can scan again, scanf, and %d is needed because it is an integer, the real part is an integer. %d ampersand what? The real part. Where is this real part? Within the struct complex structure. That is here, that is complex C1 is like this. So C1 dot real exists. So I can say ampersand C1 dot real. Is not it so? I can scan C1 dot real. Now once this is done, after this I can now scan the imaginary part. But as a habit I have told you, because you have scanned, it is always better after scanning to flush the buffer, though it will not be needed over here because I will be not using strings, and the extra enter that will be there in the buffer will not be scanned because I will scan an integer next. But still, flush stdin is a habit which you can have to write after every scanf. So next is printf again. Printf, once I have scanned the real part, The next thing to scan is the imaginary part. So the imaginary part, I ask from the user to enter the imaginary part. The imaginary part next to be scanned again. So scanf %d followed by this time ampersand c1 dot imaginary. You know this imaginary variable is also there within C1. C1 is the complex structure. So C1 is this complex structure within which the imaginary also exists. So I scan the real part and the imaginary part of the C1 variable. I should flush the buffer out again because I have used scanf and a habit again. So next, the first complex number is scanned like this. So should I now scan the second complex number? Let me copy this whole thing and do the same thing for the second complex number. So I copy this and I paste this. So the next complex number is to be scanned over here. So this thing is enter not the first but the second complex number. So real part, imaginary part again there. This is C2 dot real that I should scan and C2 dot imaginary I should scan. Now how to put this whole thing in C3? Very simple now. C3 dot real is equal to C1 dot real plus C2 dot real, and the C3 dot imaginary is equal to C1 dot imaginary plus C2 dot imaginary. Is not it so? You please check this. Is not it like this? That C3 dot real is C1 dot real plus C2 dot real, and C3 dot imaginary is C1 dot imaginary plus C2 dot imaginary. So C3 is now constructed and my job is just to print now. So printf the resultant complex number is, the resultant complex number after addition is, see what, percent d plus percent di, where the first percent d has to be replaced by C3 dot real and the second percent d has to be replaced by C3 dot imaginary. Is not it so? I am just printing this, that is C3, the real plus imaginary part with I. This is what I should write. So I think you have got this program. This program is only this much, and now I should be able to run this program with everything corrected. This should be commented out and I should be able to run it. Let me save it and then try to run it. So I run it. The real part. What is the real part? The real part may be, say, 5. First complex number 5 plus 6i. Let it be 5 plus 6i. So real part is 5. Imaginary part 6. So 5 plus 6i. The second complex number may be 9 plus 2i. Maybe 9. Real part. Imaginary part is 2. So 9 plus 2i. So now added together it should be 5 plus 9 14 and 6 plus 2 8. So here it is 14 plus 8i. 5 plus 9 makes it 14 and 6 plus 2 makes it 8. So 14 plus 8i. So this is how it has been done. Now what? Now I can tell you this is very simple. In fact, we have done more complex program than this in the last lesson. But one thing I want to now tell you, can we pass structures to functions? That is, this part where I am adding, can this be a function? What I mean to say is, say if this part I copy, I just copy this part, and then what I do is I simply do an addition. I call maybe something like this, that I use a function called add complex. The purpose of this function is to add two complex numbers. So add complex, and within this add complex I have complex C1 and complex C2. I pass them. Two structures I pass, C1 and C2, and expects that this add complex function will add the two complex numbers C1 and C2 because I have passed the structures. So within that function, C1.real and C2.real and C1.imaginary and C2.imaginary definitely will be accessible because I am passing this as a structure to the function, and return from that function will come C3. That is the added result. That may be possible. So this part I have copied. This part I just put it maybe in another function. I just paste it. So I paste it means this is now maybe a part of a function. That function is nothing but add complex function. Is not it so? The add complex function I was talking about. Now that add complex function must be receiving two variables, complex C1 and complex C2. Should not it receive these two variables, complex C1 and complex C2? And then it should have this complex C3 declared within it, and C3.real is C1.real plus C2.real and C3.imaginary is C1.imaginary plus C2.imaginary. But expected that that complex function will return the sum, that is C3 needs to be returned. So what I need to return is C3, return C3. So if I have to return C3, please tell me what should be my return type. Should not my return type be complex itself? Sorry, in caps. Should not the return type be the struct complex itself? The complex structure, the C3 you are returning. So definitely the complex structure has to be returned. C3 is a complex structure. So the return type is C3. So that is what I am returning, and that is what I receive over here. And these two part of code should not be needed because it is the part of the function now. Is not it so? So here we have got this C3, and then this C3 real and imaginary parts are printed. You understand this? This is quite okay. So this function I have, what have I shown over here? That you can also pass structures to function. Not only pass structures to function, you can return structures from function also. And these are the structures you have passed, structure variables you have passed, and you have received the result over here. Let me save it and try to run it. Two errors. Why? Which means, what is the error? See, the error is, okay, here while passing, wrongly I entered the data type. Do you ever do that? Do you ever enter the data type while passing the argument? No. While receiving it, you receive the data type. You receive as complex C1 and complex C2. But while passing, do you ever write complex C1, complex C2? Just by wrongly, while writing it, I had written complex C1, complex C2, which is wrong, which is absolutely wrong. So now if I run it, it should run properly. I save it again and try to run it. So yeah, real part 5 plus 6i. Let it be 5 plus 6i. And the next one be 8 plus 2i. So 8 plus 2i. So 5 and 8, 13, 6 and 2, 8. So yes, it is 13 plus 8i. So do you understand? Passing structures to function and also returning structures from function. One thing I will now ask you, very simple. See, suppose I don't receive this C3 back from add complex. So just a small variation I am trying to tell you over here. Suppose I don't receive back this C3. Instead what I do, I pass this C3. I am asking you, can it work? So I pass this C3, and over here, instead of returning C3, I receive this C3 variable, and this C3 variable I compute over here. I just compute this C3, C3.real, C3.imaginary. Avoid returning this C3. It's not needed, suppose. And here I don't return this complex. Instead, I don't return. This is void. What I have done is I have received a complex variable C3, and within that C3 I have computed the real and the imaginary part. and then I have passed this C3 over from at complex, I have passed this C3. I expect that C3 I have received over here. So the real and imaginary computed over here, and I don't need to return. Will it work? I avoid the return. I just do it on the same C3 that I pass from main. Will it work? Please see for once. Let me save it and try to run and see for once. Real part. Say 5 plus 6i again and 7 plus 3i again. So 12 plus 9i should be the answer. It shows 1824 plus 64i. Absolutely wrong. That means that these two numbers it has printed in place of C3.real and C3.imaginary are two garbage numbers. Why? Because this C3.real and C3.imaginary has not been reflected. The same problem of functions, if you remember, C3 has been declared over here. So this C3 that you pass over there, the C3 that you receive over there, you receive it in a different variable. So that different variable you are working upon over here, and that different variable C3 changes. This C3 struct complex C3 is not same as the struct complex C3 of main. They are different. So here the change that is occurring is on a different structure that is happening. Here also different structures have been received, but the values are same. You have received the values and you are working upon them and you are not changing it. If you make a change to C1 and C2, that will also not be reflected in main. But you are not changing C1 and C2, but you are changing C3. The C3 that you are changing is a different C3 from the C3 of main. So can we do like when you used to do about normal integer variables? Can instead of C3, I pass its address? I can definitely do. If I pass the address of C3, then definitely I can receive as a pointer variable. That is, this is struct complex star C3. Struct complex is type-def as capital complex. So it's complex star C3. I just receive a pointer variable which contains the address. So this is no more C3.real. Instead, C3 is just a pointer to the structure. Can I do star C3? If I do star C3, then C3 is the pointer to the structure. Star C3 makes the actual structure. Now I can access the real. And same way, I have to do this star C3.imaginary because C3 is a pointer. Star C3 is the actual structure whose imaginary part I again access. So here the change is happening in the actual structure of main because this C3 that you declared in main, you have passed its address only. See over here, you have passed its. Over here, you just passed its address. So this C3 that you declared in main, the address of this C3 is received over here. So the content of that address is actually the C3 of main, whose real and imaginary I change. So if I now print, then definitely C3.real and C3.imaginary should work absolutely fine. Let me save it and try to run it again. So the real part is 5, imaginary part is 6, the real part is 7, imaginary part is 8. So 5 plus 7, 12, 6 plus 8, 14. See, it is 12 plus 14i, works absolutely fine. So do you understand? One more thing, I not only showed you structure, passing structures to function, but I also showed you passing pointers of structures to function. In fact, you have also learned about pointers to structure. That is, you can declare pointers to structure. This star C3 that you are writing, interesting again. See, star C3.real. Please see this. Star C3 you are writing. Dot real you are writing. Now this is again absolutely same. If you can write it as C3, then see arrow real. It is same. Star C3.real. C3 is a pointer. You go access the content of that pointer, that is you access the structure. C3 is a pointer to the structure. Star C3 you access that structure. Then you do dot real. Same as C3 arrow real. If C3 is a pointer, you can directly access it as C3 arrow real. I think you get it. star C3 dot real. I repeat once more. C3 is the structure to the pointer. Star C3 is the content, that is, you access that structure. Now you access the real variable dot real. So it is same as C3 arrow real. If C3 is the pointer, you can access the variables of the structure as with the help of this arrow. What I mean to say is, you can now, instead of star C3 dot real, you could have written this same thing as C3 arrow real. I think you get it. Star C3 dot real imaginary, you can access it as C3 arrow imaginary. Do you understand this? If C3 is the pointer to a structure, you can access the variables defined within the structure through this arrow. This is what can be done in the program. So if it runs with star C3 dot real, it will also run with C3 arrow imaginary. So let me run this program once more. Real part 6, imaginary part 7, real part 4, imaginary part 2. So 6 plus 4, 10, 7 plus 2, 9, 10 plus 9, 9. So do you understand this? So once more, this C3 arrow real, it is same as star C3. If you write star C3, remember, then again arrow will not work, because arrow means C3 is the pointer, arrow will work. But once you do star C3, you are accessing that structure, content of that pointer. So here again you need to give this dot. So if you do it with star C3 over here also, same thing, you will have to get rid of arrow, then you will have to give dot. But again, if you get rid of this star, you can directly access with arrow. I think you understand this. So this is basically a variation of it. You can also do it with star C3. You can do it with only C3 with the help of an arrow. Structures also. However, I have explained you this whole thing so that you understand pointers to structures, passing structures to function, passing pointers of structures to function. But this is better to do it in the previous way. That is, returning this looks much better. This is not good. Declaring a new variable C3 like I was doing, complex C3, and then doing it over this C3, new variable C3 of declared within this add complex function, and returning this new C3 looks much better. Is not it so? This is in fact much better, looks better as a function or a program. Okay, so here it was much better not doing it as ampersand C3, but sending it as C1 and C2 and then receiving back this C3. This was a better way of writing the program. Is not it so? Once again run it and find out. I had done it once. 6 plus 5i, 8 plus 2i, makes it 14 plus 7i. Absolutely fine. Okay, so this is a better way of writing the program. So I think you understand this. So one more thing over here I want to tell you. See, this receiving you had to do twice. It would have been better if this also could have been a function. I could have called that function twice. Say this. I could have done it so easily. See, I copy this and make this another function. Just I paste this over here. I will make it another function. That is, let me call this function getComplex. Let me call this function getComplex. GetComplex in the sense that I will receive a complex variable from the user. I don't need to receive anything. I will receive a complex variable from the user and return it to main. The function is only this much. I think you understand what I mean to say. What I mean to say is, instead of doing this whole thing I will delete. Instead, this C1, how to get this C1, I expect that there will be a getComplex function. A getComplex function. If I call that getComplex function, then that getComplex function will return me the variable C1. In the same way, if I call the getComplex function yet again, if I call that getComplex function yet again, that getComplex function will return me the C2 variable. I think you understand. And this part will not be needed again. That is, I call this get complex function once, it returns me one complex variable. I call the get complex function again, I get another complex variable. So this is how I do it. I just call it. So what is get complex doing? See this get complex function? The get complex function is only asking the user to enter a complex number, not the first one because it is generally written. Enter a complex number, and it has its real part and imaginary part. So here I have to return this C1 that I have scanned from the user. So definitely I need to declare that C1 also. That C1 needs to be declared also. This complex C1 is declared. I scan the C1 real, C1 imaginary, and return the C1. Return this C1 as a complex variable. So see what I have done. First time I received it in C1, second time received it in C2. So two variables are there with me. I can run this program and check again, Alt-R, enter. No errors, real part 5, imaginary part 6, real part 9, imaginary part 7. 5 plus 9 makes it 14, 6 plus 7 makes it 13. So 14 plus 39 is the resultant complex number after addition. So do you understand this? It is so easy to do it. We can do it in fact. So I have, in this entire process, you have understood returning structures from function, receiving structures in a function, pointers to structure, receiving pointers to structures, receiving pointers to structures in a function. So all these things you have learned. We will take a bit of break and come back with more programs on structures. Thank you so much.